Hello and welcome back to SuperCoach Insider. My name is Ben.
And I'm Chris.
And thanks for having us. We've had a couple of technical issues.
We have.
Chris has lost more hair. It's gone more grey.
It's gone more grey than it already is.
More grey?
Yeah, we do apologise, guys.
Yeah, so unfortunately this will have to then go straight to YouTube and our normal audio platforms. Yep. And Chris will have all week to sort himself out. Yeah,
sorry guys. We really do apologise. We will obviously put this on YouTube and we'll obviously have it on our normal channels.
Yes. Well. So for those that haven't been with us previously, please do follow us on social media. So Chris?
Yep, it's on Twitch. It's twitch.tv at SC_insider. On YouTube, it's just SuperCoach Insider on YouTube.
Yes, facebook.com/SC Insider.
That's the one.
And
Twitter is SC_insider_.
Wonderful.
So those are our big ones.
Okay, yep. So today we're focusing.
And we're also on Spotify now.
Yes.
Yeah.
All you have to actually do is type in SuperCoach, and we're the first ones to pop up under SuperCoach.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Because Dr. SuperCoach is Doctor first, so they're actually below us.
Did you know that if you Google SuperCoach, like SuperCoach podcasts, we're actually the second one under the Phantoms.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know if that's just because we've got more backlinks through.
Maybe.
We've just out there on more mediums, but yeah, we're the second.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked with that. Anyway, that's just a little tidbit of information that you can have a look at.
No one likes the Phantom.
Well, some people do.
I hate paid content.
Fair enough.
You click on a link and it's like Adelaide Now. I'm like, really? Adelaide Now?
Every time I go to one of their pages and I hit a subscription wall, I want to like kill someone. I'm like, who does that?
Well, you know what? Okay, so quick pro quo.
Quick pro quo power.
You know what I hate though is when like say the SuperCoach page, right?
Yeah.
They take an article that's not even theirs. And then it goes underneath the paid wall.
Yeah.
So they've stolen information from some other article and like, and they changed the title. Here's some exclusive news that's from somebody else, and then it's paid. I was like, really? I'll just go to the main source.
I think there are ways around it, but like, and look, we pay for SuperCoach Gold, so like, why don't we have access? That's like because I don't have Herald Sun access.
Well, because they want $7 a week or whatever it is. Anyway,
Stupid.
So Hawthorn, let's go into it. Unfortunate news, Chris. Can we put out a little tribute, please?
We're going to start off with a little bit of a tribute to our friend Tom Mitchell. So really sucks that obviously he didn't have the best of news recently, breaking his leg at training, which is just really unfortunate. So we just want to play a little highlights package here of
just
of
in the
Tom
background,
Mitchell.
A little tribute. Can't believe that.
Really
broken fib and tib, I think it is.
Yeah, both. Apparently clean though, so which helps with the recovery.
Right.
With a broken leg, you couldn't probably get back within 6 months, but I doubt that they're going to risk him at the end of the season coming back from a broken leg.
Well, I don't think they're going to be anywhere near the 8 anymore.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, generally speaking, I mean, they shouldn't really have been there this year, but they got there because of Clarkson's coaching.
Yes.
Like, that's, in my opinion, their list.
And Tom Mitchell.
Yeah, it's just not up to par. But yeah, Tom Mitchell obviously had a standout year, and you have the best coach in the game coaching them, so they go all right.
Well, anyway. Wasn't Buckley the coach of the year?
But yeah, no, he was the coach of last year, but I think Clarkson's the best coach in the game.
I was just rubbing you up.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hawthorn, unfortunately, the wrong way. They have the second hardest draw, according to Champion Data, behind Collingwood.
Oh, that
doesn't help them at all.
No.
Their doubles are West Coast, Geelong, GWS, and North, as well as their, I've got here, Bunny side, Lions.
Oh, because the Lions keep beating them.
But how can you play 5 sides twice?
Do they? Well, you can.
Oh, right. Well, there you
go. So that's you play 5 sides.
Okay, right. Yeah. So, and their Bunny side, the Lions, who beat them twice.
Which is unfortunate for them.
So the only benefit is they play 2 top 8 sides in the first 7 rounds, including Saints, North, and Carlton.
So they can start well.
Yeah, but then Adelaide weren't a top 8 side, but they should improve. Essendon weren't a top 8 side, but they should improve. So
how much of an impact does not having Tom Mitchell have on the rest of the team's output?
Huge.
I think it's massive.
I think it's huge.
It's really underrated. Like Ben Mcevoy.
Yep.
No tap outs to advantage to Tom Mitchell anymore. I mean, they did have some good off-season recruits, and I'm sure you're about to go through them, but it's just it goes through the whole team.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see how they all respond.
Put more pressure on defence if they're not getting first hands on the ball.
Exactly. Yeah.
Diego Mira is going to have to play 85% time on ground now.
Well, let's see how I'm excited about his year. I don't know how he can go.
I'm excited. He had a pretty good back end to the year. But look, we'll go into it. In the off-season, they traded in some busted ankles from Western Sydney, and they got Wingard in and kicked out Burton. So Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it does make Wingard more relevant, I believe.
They love Burton, but I think that they had an inkling and they probably had a chat with him, and he's from Adelaide.
Yes.
So I think at some stage he wanted to go back.
I think they forced him out.
Well, there's talk of that too. I don't think he wanted to go, so I'm a little bit interested in terms of what happened behind closed doors, and no one will ever know. Unless you're close mates with.
Yeah,
Burton.
true.
But does it help? Is that a good? Do you reckon it works out for Hawks? Or I like Burton.
I think no, so do I. I like Burton a lot,
Yeah.
and I think Wingard's okay, but he's kind of like an expensive motlop. Wingard's great. Wingard can flip it on an edge, and he is young. So I guess under Clarkson, there's a lot of value there. There's a lot of upside, but. Now that
I'm sure he played under Clarkson in the international.
Would you do that deal now if Titch was out? Basically, it's 12 months wasted. You'd probably wait a year then to try and get Wingard.
Yeah, well,
cheaper.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't. Obviously, I don't think they're even trading for this year. I think they're planning for next year anyway. This year was another development year for them,
right?
Because I think that they've got Scully in with no guarantee that he'll even play. He did an interview recently saying it's unlikely he's playing round one, and it's just going to be a week by week basis.
Oh yeah, Scully's in big doubt. Okay, so we'll go into rookies to note.
Yep,
I've got Jack Scrimshaw. So he's 100.
Over to another YouTube video, so I'll just switch this over. Sorry, guys. So keep going.
Okay, so Scrimshaw, 149k defender. Oh, the Cruiser doing his thing. Okay, so he's a former number 7 pick. Traded to Hawthorn from the Gold Coast. Never really settled in Queensland. So they have a history of turning players from rival clubs into stars. So
That's
look,
true.
he's could be a diamond in the rough. Clarkson could give big roles to young players like he has previously.
Yep.
So look, let's see how it goes. I'm looking for him in the JLT to gauge whether he's in the senior mix early and whether he is worth that price.
There's two things working for him. First of all, obviously he's highly rated, and he obviously plays he's a halfback flanker, similar to not Birchall. Oh well, he's actually likened to a Birchall.
Burton,
but Burton's gone,
yes.
And he was playing that role. Now, so it's going to depend on whether or not Birchall is fit as to whether or not he gets games.
Yes.
So, and we all know how fit Birchall can be, and he already had a setback. So
it'll be interesting.
I'm very interested in what Jack Scrimshaw.
So
can
am
do
I.
this year.
I'm interested in him with Logue as well, Griffin Logue.
Yep.
For those cheaper.
He's just that little bit more expensive though than what you would like to pay.
I know. 120 is good.
Yeah.
150s and 170 are kind of like, well, you want to be doing well.
He's in my team right now, but I can see him making way if
someone cheaper pops up.
Presents,
I'm with you. The next one I have is Mitch Lewis. So you know he was the joke when they got rid of Mitchell and Lewis.
I do.
Mitch Lewis.
He had a fantastic year in the VFL, I think.
Yeah, 149k forward, so he's not cheap. He returned 3 kilograms heavier and is hungry to stake his claim in 2019.
Excellent.
Finished second in the VFL's leading goal kicker tally.
Thought so, yeah.
Yeah, so he may get opportunity. I think he might because... natural development, he looks like he's pushing down the door anyway.
Yeah.
Right? But then if...
They need to start developing someone to replace Roughhead.
Correct. But then let's say Gunston pushes back a little bit more or floats, because Gunston's pretty versatile. He could even play wing. Or
he's better as a third tall anyway.
He is.
Yeah.
Or even, Roughhead possibly might even play some more mid-minutes.
Yeah,
he's done it. He's done it previously.
Get him in the ruck.
He's done it. Well, no, even as he's played as a midfielder.
Yeah.
Numerous times. A tall, midfielder. So.
And he's good at it too.
I think it's possible to get Mitch Lewis in that side. They do need some options. I think it could free up some other possibilities. So look,
definitely.
I think it's not unlikely that he won't get some games. Looks like he's
probably not early, but I reckon during the season, I reckon you might see Mitch
I reckon
Lewis
he may be now. He may
JLT,
go.
right?
Keeping
see
it
how
on.
he is in the JLT.
But 149k again, more expensive than you would like. But if he looks like a locked-in deal, then I am interested.
Yep.
For me, I'm just watching him. He's not in my side at this stage.
Fair enough.
Okay, premiums.
Yep. Let's get into it. Let's get into the real stuff.
Yeah, there's not many. not too many premiums.
Now with Tom Mitchell not there, I mean that saves us about a 5-minute segment, really.
It does. It really does. It's painful. Okay, so let's start with Sicily.
Yep.
He's definitely up there as one of the
currently in my side.
Highest averaging defenders. He only played 14 games though, and still led the club for kickouts, which we've discussed.
Yep.
Even in tweets and stuff, we've been talking about that. So he could improve from the new rules.
Even more interesting is Burton was number 2.
Yes.
So the person who replaced him in kickouts while he wasn't there was Burton, and he's not there either.
Yep.
So that just bodes that and he's that raking long running kick kick. Like, we talked about. So if teams do go that route of the structure of, okay, let's get this ball to the wing from the kick out.
Yep.
He's the perfect option for that too. So I think he fits the mould and ticks the boxes. Bang, bang, bang. Yes. Takes kickouts. Yes. Does long to a contest. Yes. Running mark. Yes. Intercept defender. Yes. Like, he's the perfect prototype defender for SuperCoach.
Yes, but will he get suspended?
This is the issue. So maybe stop knocking people out, or maybe stop stepping on people as they're on the ground.
Correct. Could find himself in trouble at some stage. He also had quite a few 80s and 90s to finish off, so he kind of did taper off a little bit. That being said, he had 8 scores over 109 plus.
Yeah.
So
when he goes big, he goes big.
Yeah, and that's instead of just get the 102s and
he's
stuff, he gets
also starting to cop
solid
a forward tag.
Yeah.
So he starts to cop tags in defence, which
to try and get him suspended to help everyone else out in the competition.
He gets a Ballantyne style player on him, just niggling him on him the whole game, and obviously that's not how he plays football. He's the loose man in defence, reading the play, sitting one behind. So when he has that opposition, he then generally duds it up.
Yep.
But see how we go.
The next one I have is Ben Mcevoy.
Big boy.
Basically a premium because he did average over 100 as a ruck, so he is an option, particularly in draft. But as we mentioned, concerns now not tapping down to Mitchell.
Yep.
So he might not get as many hits of advantage.
There's just others that are way better.
He's still a consistent performer though. So look, he had only 4 scores below 90.
Yep.
So consistent performer. I'd still pick him over a Jacobs.
Oh, I'd pick anyone over Jacobs.
So,
mate, you're speaking my language here.
Speaking my language.
You're real selling it to me now.
He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite
sandwich.
So he so he had 8 100s, but he has a good ceiling when he does get over 100. He got a 125, a 129, another 129, and a 138. So
when he can add goal kicking to his repertoire, so if he kicks 1 or 2 goals in a game, that's when he really boosts his score, because most of his scoring is from his ruck work. As opposed to a lot of other ruckmen who, like a Grundy who gets 20 disposals, that's not a Ben Mcevoy. But if he can kick some goals, he really boosts his score and boosts his average.
Yep. The next one is Jack Gunston, Mr. Consistent.
Yep.
So always does well.
Another top 10 year for Gunston in the forwards.
Yeah, so he had 700s. 5 of those were 116 plus.
Yep. Had a big one, didn't he, as well?
Well, funniest part is round 20 and round 22 were his biggest rounds, and they were when Sicily was out, and he got a 138 and a 140.
He didn't go behind the ball, though. He was still playing forward. And he has in the past where he's gone behind the ball, but didn't need to this year.
Yeah, went big. So, look, I don't mind him as an option, particularly for draft. Don't think I will start with him in standard.
No.
He could average you 100, but now with the Hawks midfield, how much ball
is he getting for... Yeah.
Which puts big doubt for me on any of the Hawks forwards, which includes Bruce, who I don't actually have as one of my premiums because I don't think he is a premium.
I'll put him as one to watch, but it's a good draft option if you can get him late, but you're not going to get him late. People are going to jump on Bruce because he's had his best year that he's ever had.
Yes.
So I think he averaged 96 for the year, and his previous best was 81. So it's just... You're not going to get him. People are going to grab him, and it's not going to be worth it. I think he's probably likely to go down 5 points per game rather than go up 5 points per game.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
So my mid-price options, I've got Jago Mira still as a mid-price option.
Yep.
Not quite the premium. He's more expensive, yes, I know. He had 800s, including one of those at a 145.
He really tapered off at the end of the year, and I think that's just fitness, and his probably body's just sore.
Well, he actually averaged 100.3 his last 10 rounds, Chris. So he increased his average. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Interesting. I thought he definitely dropped.
I hate to disagree with you there.
I hate to burst your bubble.
He probably had a few more big games and a few maybe tapered off a little bit.
Yeah,
but
when I looked at his scoring, I actually was like, oh yeah, he had a pretty bad back end to the year. Maybe I just...
Averaged 100.3 his last 10.
Fair enough.
So,
or maybe it works in reverse. He's finally over his injuries and he's working towards...
Hopefully. We'll see. We shall see. But look,
I don't know.
You can't pick him with conviction anyway, so it's more of a wait and see. He might have some value in standard.
Yep.
Sorry, not standard. Who am I kidding?
In draft.
In draft, particularly because if he did average 100 off his past 10 with Titch out, he might actually get more responsibility, more inside minutes. He might be the only one trying to get the ball.
Is he going to be able to?
Well,
there's going to be a lot of load on Jago Mira.
But he could average you easily 100 plus 105. There's no knowing.
He's the one that's more inside than say a Wingard. Or...
Yes, correct. So therefore, if his body's right, Jago could actually be an interesting prospect.
And that actually, you've got him on your one of your next ones.
Wingard is my next mid price up. Yep. So he had a role change in round 12, turned his season around. He was horrible before that, just lost.
No,
playing in the forward.
He literally was in the forward line and just could not get the ball.
Couldn't get the ball.
And then it's obviously what happened is he switched with Robbie Gray. So Robbie Gray was playing major minutes moving forward, and then they switched completely. So then Chad Wingard was getting major mid-minutes and Robbie Gray was playing major forward minutes. Which obviously completely reversed their fortunes, both of them, because whilst Robbie Gray can score as a forward, he really does score much better as a midfielder. And same with Wingard. So Wingard, I think it was 102.75 from round 12 to the end of the year.
Yep, including 800s in that patch.
Yeah, and so I can only imagine with Mitchell going out that he's the one that benefits the most, because I think that he was probably intended to play not more forward time, but let's say 40-50% forward time, mid time. Now I think it's probably more like 70-30 mid forward. So
and the thing is that Hawks, particularly at the moment, I mean Poppy's still kicking. Bruce, they still have a lot of these small forwards they can run with.
Exactly right.
So therefore, they might go, okay, well, we'll use your speed through there, and hopefully he can then extract it, get the ball out to these other smaller guys or to an Isaac Smith or something on the outside.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, his clearance work is great. He's actually a really good clearance player. He's obviously that's more like that Cyril Rioli type of clearance player. So not that big in and under, but that evasive, elusive at the stoppages, quick snap. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. So, but I think he's definitely going to shoe in. One thing that we put on our Facebook recently was that if he actually averaged that 102.75 for the whole year as a forward, that puts him as the second best forward behind Danger as of last year's stats, which is insane.
Yep.
And obviously, this I can't see anyone going 105, 110 in the forward line. I can't literally see anyone except for Dangerfield. He's obviously going to go 120 or whatever. Whatever
he will go, but I don't know. And it's always
you see that article?
It's a dangerous game though, Chris. When you start looking at a 10-game patch, being like, oh well, if they did this, they would be that. It's great in theory, but it's dangerous.
Well, it's about role. If there was no role change and it's just natural progression of that, you'd be skeptical. But it was specifically as soon as he went into midfield, his numbers completely turned around. So if he gets the same role this year, you can only imagine that would be the similar outcome. So
with Titch out, then you're saying that you could pick Wingard with more confidence than say a Dunkley or
guaranteed more confidence, because the impact that Libba's going to have in that midfield is too unknown. Are they even starting in the midfield? Who starts in the clearances? So at a centre bounce, it's going to be McRae, guaranteed. Yes. Libba should be there because he's probably the best in and under that they've got. And then who's the third? Is it McLean? Is it Dunkley?
Wallace was playing a bit of forward. His role could be changed.
It should be Bontempelli.
Should be Bontempelli.
But, again, Bevo. So, what I think about Bulldogs, and it's probably going a little bit too early with podcasts, is that because no one knows what's happening, the only thing guaranteed is that McRae is probably not changing much. That's it. Outside of that, crystal ball it. And you got to wait until the JRT, and then it'll probably change halfway through the season because that's what Bevo likes doing.
Yep.
Anyway,
so for that reason, I have Wingard down as my draft special.
Yep.
Because you can get a lot more.
Someone will pick him up super early, but I want value out of him.
I think that will be you trying to pick him up super early, Chris.
Well, here's my thing, and this is just a little bit of a tactic that I like to use. Is that let's say I think he might go 100, which is I think a fair average and assumption, right? But he averaged 88 for the year. So if you were to pick him up when they're going through the list at, say, a 94, so people are picking out people who are forwards who average 94, that's a value position that you can pick up Wingard, because you're still getting 6 points value.
So I know we've spoken about this previously. So you have where you think they're going to average, where they previously averaged, but if you pick him at 100 average, thinking he's going to average 100, even if he averages 100, you're just still getting the value.
There's no value in it.
Well, you're getting the value of what you paid for.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go, okay, so he averaged 88, and I expect him to average 100, then the further away from 100 you can pick him, the more value you actually get.
Yeah.
Only if you're correct.
And so then it comes down to who's getting drafted at the time. So are they going forwards at the time? Yep. Are they going mids?
Can I get someone better?
Who's the group? Is there a Hawthorn supporter among you? You got to think about these, where your pick is in relation to the other people in your group,
or what people previously have picked. Have people been loading up on forwards? So therefore, are you better off trying to go and get a defender before they jump to them? Yeah. It's just a positional play, really.
And the other thing to consider is also total points. So at the end of the day, SuperCoach is a game about total points. So are you picking him at 96, for example? But you could have picked a defender at 96 that you think might go 105. So that's a 5 point per game increase. So It's all conjecture, but
strategy. The next one I have as a draft special is James Worple.
I've got him
he's
down
also
as well.
as my one to watch,
Yep.
but simply because when he came back into the side, he played 6 games to finish off at 87.8. So I think he looked impressive. I think with Mitchell out, he could get a better role on the inside.
Yeah. Now the issue is he did play so I did look into his finals performances, and he had a shocking finals. He only got 37 and a 54 in the finals.
Yeah.
But his 6 games before that, he was 87.8.
I'm keen to see what he does in the JLT.
I wouldn't be choosing him in standard, but
no.
I mean, someone that
draft,
because he on the average, I think 70 for the year or 72 for the year. You could definitely pick him up late in draft.
Yeah,
really,
hoping
really
he
nice.
can get you an 85 or something on
exactly
your bench.
Right. Yeah.
So for that reason, I have him as my one to watch as well. So Worple and Wingard. Players to avoid, obviously Titch.
Yep.
Maybe as a last bench if you can sneak him on there.
Well, there's a chance that in draft you might pick him up.
Yeah, but
real late.
Chance he comes back.
Floating
But what round would he come back? 19?
It'd be late.
21?
You might get him. I mean, look.
Sit with the donut for a year?
In draft, let's be honest.
It just looks good
You're
on
usually,
your bench.
well, no, not only that. You're usually trying to loophole at some point during the year anyway. So you get a decent bench score and you want to put on your field, you've got to drop 3 players. So it's handy having someone who may come back and give you some value later in the season, but who may not necessarily represent value straight away. Because you're going to, at some point, drop your bench.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a bad thing. But if there's someone else that you think can get you value, get them instead. But and if you think no one's going to pick him up,
and normally I would actually say avoid Liam Shields because he's so up and down.
But he may get more mid-time.
Well, if you look at he gets you an 80 average, and then he gets you a 91, a 95, an 80, a 77.
It's all role dependent with him. He never gets the role that he's actually a ball winner.
Yeah,
but he's generally he's been in tagging roles. He's played off a wing instead of in the middle.
But now with Titch down, does that mean that a Howe
maybe
and a Shields actually improve? So
good. Definitely.
It could actually be a draft steal in the end with a Howe and a Shield. So
I agree.
I can't say avoid anyone too strongly now because who knows who will be relevant. So for that, it's more of a wait and see if anybody pops up.
Fair enough.
And watch particularly with the roles and how, because one big player out, they need to manage the numbers and try and fill the void with a collective. It'll be multiple people trying to fill that void, not just one. So I think I'm very, very interested to wait and see.
Yep.
And I hope Titch does all the best. Maybe he should dabble at a bit of SuperCoach this year.
Yeah, get into SuperCoach with Titchy.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
We'll
help you out. Look, the only other, again, late draft choice that you could look at was Blake Hardwick. So he only averaged 74 for the year, but I think he's an option for about an 80-odd. He was third in kickouts behind Sicily and Burton. So I think with Burton gone, he steps up and takes more kickouts. And he was really a mainstay. Now, he's not the sort of type to get you tons and get 120 or whatever, but he can definitely pinch hit as a late either a bench spot on your pine in draft or as a D5, something like that. Someone to round out your defense. So because of his ability he's got a long raking kick. And he does take kickouts, and there's no more Burton. I think that he's someone that could probably average you about 80.
Yep. And Bruce, obviously, who you'd be picking at overs if you pick him on his average. I think.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So as we said, there'll probably be a bit of influence now. Not winning as many games looks likely. B, not as much. Titch getting all the clearances down to the forward line, so people like Bruce will probably suffer. And especially seeing it's his career best, return.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Doesn't bode well.
I can't imagine Bruce going anywhere near what he did this year.
So if he's in draft, you let someone else take him and you go around him.
Yeah.
So players to avoid would be Bruce.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's pretty much all I have from the Hawthorn. Very sad news.
Covers off the
sad
Hawks.
Day.
Yeah.
And normally we probably would ramble on a little more, but I think we'll cut and chase.
Tip of the cap to you, Tom. Hope you get better soon, mate.
Yes. All right. Talk to you soon, guys. We'll continue with what we're doing next, and we'll go Gold Coast.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.